On the Coffee Videos container, we have set the public access level to blob, which means that anonymous users can access a blob like the skateboarder MP4 file via the blob URL. That URL is part of the HTML code generated by the ASP.NET Core web application, and anyone could use that URL in their own website. Now Sarah just came to your desk. Sarah, a software developer at Wired Brain Coffee. She says to you that they don't want that anyone can use the blob URLs in their static website. You know what that means? We have to set the public access level on the Coffee Videos container to private, which means the blob URL that you see on this slide won't work anymore. As you might remember, we set the public access level to blob when we create the Coffee Videos container. Instead of passing the enum value blob to the createIfNotExists async method, you can pass the value off, which means private. Or even simpler, you can call the createIfNotExists async method without parameters, as the private access level is the default. But the issue is now that this createIfNotExists async method sets the public access level only when a container is created. If the container exists already, it doesn't change the public access level. If you want to change it in code, you can create a new blob container permissions object and you set its public access property to the value you want. In our case, to off, as we don't want to allow anonymous access. Then you call the setPermissionsAsync method on the Cloud Blob Container instance and you pass in the blob container permissions object. But in our case, we don't want to change the public access level in code, so we don't need that code. What we will do, we just change the createIfNotExists async method from this overload to the overload without parameters. If a container is created, it will be private, as this is the default value. Next, we just set the public access level on the existing Coffee Videos container to private in the Azure portal. So let's do this. Let's adjust the call of the createIfNotExists async method and let's set the public access level on the Coffee Videos container to private. Let's switch first to Visual Studio. Let's open the Coffee Videos storage class and let's scroll down to the getCoffeeVideos container async method. Here in this method we call the createIfNotExists async method on the Cloud Blob container. So now let's just use the overload without parameters. Now let's go to the Azure portal and let's change the access level on the existing Coffee Videos container. Here I've opened the blade of the Coffee Videos container. Let's click on Access Policy. Let's set here the public access level to private and let's save this. Now let's go back to Visual Studio. Here from Visual Studio, let's just run the web application and let's see what will happen. As you can see, the videos can't be loaded anymore. Of course, we have set the public access level on the Coffee Videos container to private. Now let me show you how you can still access the blobs with a shared access signature.